This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV for Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. I'm Derek Gilbert. Topic number 5 today, Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine has taken responsibility for an explosion on the Crimea Bridge, the Kerch Bridge that separates the annexed Crimean peninsula from the Russian mainland. This is a 12-mile bridge, longest in Europe, and really symbolic of Russia's extending control into that part of Ukraine. Monday's attack on the bridge was the second one since Russia launched its invasion last February. 2 people were killed and a 14-year-old girl reportedly wounded. Her parents were the ones that were killed when the bridge was hit by 2 waterborne drones, looked like remote-controlled jet skis or some such thing. A source in Ukraine's security service told CNN the attack was a joint operation of the SBU, that's Ukraine's security service, and Ukraine's naval forces. They spoke on condition of anonymity because they weren't authorized to talk about this. Again, 2 people killed when the attack took place at about 3 a.m. local time Monday. Now, this may be a desperation play by Ukraine, a Hail Mary, if you will, because as the New York Times admitted in a story over the weekend, things are not looking good for Ukraine's counteroffensive. The story titled, "After Suffering Heavy Losses, Ukrainians Paused to Rethink Strategy." And the story notes that within the first couple of weeks of the counteroffensive, Ukraine's forces lost about 20% of the weapons supplied by the West, including the new tanks and armored vehicles. The much vaunted offensive had kicked off in May, but it really hasn't translated into any major gains. Ukraine reportedly has regained about 5 miles of the 60 that they want to recover from Russian forces. So as a result of the attack on the bridge, Russia said Monday it is suspending its participation in a crucial deal that allowed the export of Ukrainian grain. This once again is raising fears over global food supplies. As we were telling you last year, Ukraine is really the world's largest exporter of wheat, also a key exporter of sunflower seeds and oil and other products. Turkey and the United Nations had brokered a deal by which Russia was allowing Ukrainian ships to take grain from the port of Odessa through the key strait in the Black Sea that allows them to get to port, specifically in places in the Middle East like Lebanon and into Africa, which depends in large part for its food supplies on what comes from Ukraine and Russia. Well, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters Monday that Russia would not renew the pact, that it has been terminated. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken last week accused Russia of using the grain deal as a weapon. Well, that's what nations do. They use their assets to pressure other countries to do what they do in the same way the United States uses the dollar's status as the world's de facto reserve currency as a weapon. You have to hold dollars to purchase oil and other commodities. Your dollar holdings are in our banks. We're going to freeze your assets because you're not playing ball. It's not nice, but that's what countries do. Topic number 4, January 6th. A January 6th defendant, Edward Jacob Lang, is asking the Supreme Court to hear his challenge against one of the 11 charges he was indicted on, obstruction of an official proceeding. And this case could upend legal proceedings against hundreds of other defendants who were indicted on charges related to the riot at the U.S. Capitol January 6th of 2021. This charge could be levied against, that particular charge could be levied against anyone who attends a public demonstration gone awry. You go to a public demonstration, agitators stir things up, things get violent, stuff gets broken, people get hurt, and suddenly you're charged with a federal crime and could wind up spending years in prison. This is what the attorneys for Lang are claiming in their court filing last week. The charge, according to his attorneys, nothing less than the weaponization of the penal code to stifle dissent. It sets a terrifying precedent unworthy of this nation's history, end quote. The right to lawfully assemble is guaranteed under the Constitution, but holding people who attend a gathering innocently, not aware that things are going to get kinetic, for them to be charged, that, as his attorneys say, does in fact set a dangerous precedent. Lang had filed a motion to dismiss the obstruction charge, which carries a 20-year sentence. Before his trial, a D.C. District Court approved or granted the motion. However, an appeals court reversed the lower court's decision, and a motion for a rehearing was denied. So Lang's attorney, Norman Pattis, told Newsweek that he thinks the Supreme Court should hear it, and if so, could upend the cases of hundreds of defendants in what happened on January 6th. And isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that the FBI, almost 3 years now after the event, is able to track down Americans who attended the event based on social media posts, people on the other side of the country who may not have even gone inside the U.S. Capitol. They're able to find those people, and yet they still can't identify who left the bag of cocaine inside a locker in a secure area inside the White House. It is a puzzle, isn't it? That's a rhetorical question. No, it's not a puzzle at all. Topic number 3, Satan loses in court. A federal court in Texas rejected a lawsuit last week by the Satanic Temple that argued that aborting unborn babies is a satanic ritual and therefore should be protected by the Constitution of the United States. In 2021, the Satanic Temple had filed its initial lawsuit against the Texas Health and Human Services Executive Commissioner Cecile Young, claiming violations of free speech and religious freedom. The group took issue with the state's waiting policy before a woman could obtain a legal abortion, and the informed consent policy that requires a pregnant mother be given the opportunity to hear her unborn baby's heartbeat and see the child's image on an ultrasound. It's known that oftentimes when a pregnant mother sees the child on ultrasound, she changes her mind, which is why pro-abortion activists so oppose that policy. Anyway, last December, the Satanic Temple filed an amended complaint arguing that the law prohibits its members from performing abortion rituals. Well, the federal court threw out the case, calling it cryptic and lacking merit. The judge could have been a little more blunt and direct, actually, in the ruling, saying, look, if your religious ritual involves or requires the killing of a child, you're evil and you have no place in our society. But, you know, I'm no legal scholar. That's just my opinion. Topic number 2, get woke. You know the rest of that phrase. Disney apparently not learning the lesson. Set photos from the Disney upcoming live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs reveals that they have replaced the Seven Dwarfs with one short person and 7 diverse, woke, inclusive, magical creatures is what they're actually calling them. Oh yes, and Snow White is being played by a Latina. Forgetting that this fairy tale was written centuries ago about a German princess, a fair-skinned German princess, hence the name Snow White. Well, okay, we'll toss that out the window, but the 7 magical creatures were written into the story after Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage, who played Tyrion Lannister, complained, saying that 7 dwarfs in the 21st century was really regressive rather than progressive. And so, they cast 7 short folk, well, actually 1 and short, and then 6 others who are, again, gender and racially diverse. It does not look good for Disney. Disney, which has acquired Lucasfilm, has already destroyed the Star Wars franchise. It's destroying the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now it's destroying its own back catalog of beloved animated features. Coming up, a feel-good story, a doxy rescue, and we really mean rescue. Straight ahead on 5 and 10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of this incredible new book in the John Clash special offer. When you order the John Clash special offer, you'll receive his brand new book, The Law of Attraction, a gateway drug to spiritual heroin. This phenomenal new work challenges the very validity of the dangerous Luciferian, heavily popularized ideology that false teachers and gurus describe as the law of attraction. In this book, John also uses a solid biblical framework to debunk the so-called scientific selling points that the law of attraction is predicated on. But that's not all. You'll also receive the amazing DVD Beyond Supernatural that features off-the-record interviews with popular former New Age author and speaker Stephen Bancars, where he details his long history and involvement with the New Age and shares his personal testimony of deliverance through Jesus Christ. And as a bonus, this DVD also includes the entire original Skywatch TV 5-part series on the second coming of the New Age. Also included in this must-have special offer, the 2-part DVD, Occultianity, how the End Times Church is forming now in preparation of Antichrist, where Donna Howell and Allie Anderson walk you step by step through how a silent, complacent church is inadvertently laying the foundation for the bloodiest cult that the world has ever seen. All of these items hold a retail value of $75, yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling, so don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special offer. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the John Clash special offer right now.
Item number 1 today, a Dachshund rescued, and again, seriously rescued. A miniature Dachshund fell off a 120-foot cliff, spent 2 days huddled on a tiny ledge until she was found by a drone operator. This 9-year-old mini Dachshund named Kola disappeared while on a walk with her owner, Ella Derkach. Mrs. Derkach turned her back to take a picture, and then suddenly Kola was gone. Well, Mrs. Derkach thought Kola had decided to make her own way back to the car. As owners of a Dachshund for many years, I can attest that Dachshunds have their own mind, and you cannot tell a Dachshund what to do. Or as the old joke goes, you can always tell a Dachshund, you just can't tell them very much. Anyway, a search of 60 villagers, this is near the village of Trimmingham in Norfolk, failed to turn up the Dachshund. However, an expert drone operator from a rescue found her perched on the side of a cliff. 5 others with drones, including some infrared cameras. No such luck. But someone in the group had spotted a website for a charity drone, for a charity called Drone to Home, which specializes in finding lost dogs, using a drone to find missing pets. Phil James, the founder, was able to find Kola within about 2 minutes. He just started from where Kola was last seen, launched his drone, and, well, there she is. She's on the side of the cliff, able to go down to the base of the cliff and climb up the 60-foot incline and then scoot back down on his backside with Kola in his arms. You can see them reunited there. So, again, having been a long-time Dachshund owner, can appreciate the story. It's always good to get a feel-good story at the end of our daily news, especially with all the craziness in the world around us. Well, Skywatch TV's One World Rising virtual conference for spring, it is still available. If you haven't taken advantage of this yet, you still can do so. 90 days access from the time you sign up, with featured speakers Tom Horn, Carl Gallups, Ryan Peterson, Donna Howell, Colonel David Giammona, many others, yours truly included, talking about the World Economic Forum's Great Reset and why it ought to be called Build Back Babel, because that's really what they're trying to do. You can find out more online and sign up at defenderconference.com, defenderconference.com. During the month of July, our thank you for your gift of any amount to support the work at Whispering Ponies Ranch. That's what we do at Skywatch TV. It's to raise funds for Whispering Ponies Ranch and the children who are blessed by the therapy ponies there. As the wonderful book by Carl Gallups, Glimpses of Glory. You can get this book for your donation of any amount during July if you're in the U.S. or Canada. You can find out more at our website, skywatchtv.com. Look for the red donate button or call us toll-free during business hours, 844-750-4985. One of the most insidious teachings to worm its way into the Christian church is the law of attraction. It's the idea that your words actually shape your reality. That is magical thinking, and we as Christians are commanded to not engage in sorcery, but couched in Christianese, there are people who are falling for this. John Clash has a new book about the law of attraction, and he's our guest this week on Skywatch TV. Don't miss these programs. It's very important because we found that a majority of professing Christians in the United States hold some form of New Age belief. This is according to reputable surveys of American Christians and what we believe. Our broadcast schedule is always posted at the website, skywatchtv.com/channels. You can watch the program right now at the website, skywatchtv.com. All of our videos are there. You can also watch it right now at Roku or Apple TV if you have the Skywatch TV channel on your set-top box, or you can go to our new YouTube and Rumble channels, all of our video content right there, or better yet, download our free app. Our app brings all of the video content right into your smartphone or tablet, and that's important because it bypasses the gatekeepers. We will not be canceled from our own app. As the ladies of Simply His discovered, sometimes you can say something without even knowing what it is and get kicked off of, the big video sharing site. You can find the app that's right for your device, whether it's iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire phone or tablet. We've got links to the app stores posted at skywatchtv.com. You'll find the link in the top menu bar at the website. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.